Hey everybody, welcome to Wolf Dan's Kitchen. This is your host, James the Wolfman Davis, coming at you live from Mesa, Arizona. Right now, we're in the beginning of our winter, if you want to call it that. Not many winters I know of are in the 80 degree mark, but hey, this is Arizona life. Gotta love it. Alright guys, so the purpose of my channel here is to kind of show you the beginning and the journey of a new style of cooking for myself. I personally am going to be showing you recipes from a pescatarian slash vegetarian way of cooking. The reason for this is because I do want to be healthier. I had a really deep conversation with a friend of mine the other day, you know, just hashing out different topics, going over stuff on how I really want to do this year. And one of the topics he really brought up was, he's like, man, I know you do anything for your kid. Oh, hey, by the way, I got a kid. He's just turned 6. But anyways, he's like, you know, I know you'll do anything for your kid. But to be honest, man, why haven't you done anything to get healthy? And, you know, we had our little discussion about it and whatever. And when I got home, I was thinking about that. You know, I honestly, just like many other parents would, I would die for my kids. I would take a bullet. I'd do anything to protect my little man. But, you know, I really haven't done anything to improve my health so I can enjoy these years with him. I know that going forward, he's going to get a lot more energy. He's going to want to do a lot more things. And me personally, I would love to go ahead and be a part of his journey. But in order to do that, I got to work through some of my own challenges. For example, I have really bad asthma, ADHD, eczema. I'm allergic to just about anything that grows outside, like grass, trees, pollen, you know, the works. And also have IBSD. For some of you that don't know what IBSD, I know you can look it up, but it's irritable bowel syndrome diarrhea. When I was born, I had to have a surgery done, and they took out part of my intestines. I know part of my intestines, so things kind of run right through me, and I know it's also because of how poor my diet is. So I'm hoping to share these new recipes and stuff with you guys, and just see where this takes us. And my end result, hopefully, is to not only lose some weight, because right now I am at 220 pounds. I'm only 5'5". I'm about to turn 26. At my healthiest, I think I was at 160-ish when I was doing kickboxing, eating right, doing my junior ROTC, drill stuff, things like that. I realized may not ever be as healthy or as skinny. Not necessarily skinny. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was skinny, but I was fit. My goal, hit 180, maybe bulk up from there. I just want to be able to enjoy the rest of my years with my kid and kind of, you know, be a dad, show my son a thing or two, and take it from there. But anyways, guys, we're going to move on to what my channel is about, and we're going to get right on to cooking and see how this new recipe turns out. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, leave them down below. I'm more than happy to read them, reply, get some feedback, like I said, and just hopefully we can all grow, learn some few things along the way, and maybe build a community. Who knows? I'm really just doing this for myself right now, but if other people want to jump on board, then cool, let's do this together. Alright guys, let's move on to this recipe. Hey everybody, these are going to be the ingredients that you need to make this tilapia dish. Just to go over everything on this tray, on this cutting board here. Obviously got some delicious broccoli, got some low sodium chicken broth, one of my favorites. Obviously almost every dish is going to need some salt and pepper. And then I've never actually had these before, but they're called imported capote or capote, don't quote me on that, capers. The first time I'm going to ever have them, like I said, so we'll see how that goes. Also, you're going to need a lemon, some garlic. This is the only parsley that I could find, and the recipe just called for regular parsley. I've never really used parsley in my dishes before, so I didn't really know if this would work, but we're going to try it. And then I went to 2 different places trying to look for shallots. Couldn't find any. There was none at Walmart. There was none at Winco. So I looked up on Google about what a good substitute would be for that. According to Google, a yellow onion will work perfectly. And you know what? We are missing the most important ingredient, the tilapia. And here you are, guys, tilapia. I got 5 fillets. I don't know if you can sell, but for $8.24, I thought we could definitely give tilapia a shot and really just see where this takes us. Alright, everybody, now that we coated our foil with some non-stick coating, I used, of course, extra virgin olive oil non-stick spray, so less likely that the fish will stick. The next step in this recipe, it calls for brushing our tilapia fillets with 1 tablespoon of whatever type of cooking oil that you guys prefer. Me personally, just like with the cooking spray here, I'm going to go ahead and use the extra virgin oil. I like it, tastes good, hasn't done me wrong yet. It's a good source of fat as well, so we'll go ahead and throw that in there. So instead of just pouring the olive oil on, it does say to go ahead and brush it. I can't seem to find my brush anywhere, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and drizzle a little bit on each fillet here, and then go ahead, salt and pepper to your liking. Alright guys, now that I've salt and peppered everything here, we're going to go ahead and put it in that preheated oven. Again, just to reiterate, we went ahead and preheated the oven to 350 degrees. And then in the recipe, it does say that we're going to go ahead and cook it for about 15 minutes until it gets a little bit flaky, or until it reaches internal temperature, I believe, of 145 degrees. So let's go ahead and put it in the oven here. Alright guys, now that we have our tilapia cooking in the oven here, since we have about 10 more minutes here since I put it in, we're going to start working on the couscous. First thing the recipe, so we're going to put in about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Let's go ahead and drizzle that over the pan here. So we're going to go ahead and wait until this gets a little hot, and then we're going to add in some garlic. I don't know about you guys, but I know the recipe here just called for said to use about 2 cloves of garlic. Me personally, I'm a huge garlic fan, and I like to have a little bit of garlic when I'm eating in whether it be my quinoa rice that I will eventually show on here. I think that quinoa comes out perfectly, but whether it's in quinoa, my fish, or just in a mixture anywhere within itself, is a great additional flavor. So once this gets a little hot, like I said, we'll put in our garlic, and we will go ahead and let that cook for about, 2 minutes or so, just so we can get the aroma released and get those a little cooked up. Cool, so looks like we got our olive oil heating up here. So let's go ahead and put those in our oil. Get them all. I'm not stingy with my garlic. I don't think you should be too. But how much garlic you really want to use, totally up to you guys. Alright, got that in there. Let's go ahead and get out one of my wooden spoons. I swear this is like one of the ones my mom used to beat my butt with, but hey, it's still good for cooking and beating your kid's butt. Alright, so we'll let that go until about 12:09 and we'll take it from there. Alright guys, looks like we got some of that garlic, nice and aromatic. So we're going to go ahead and add 2 cups here of low sodium chicken broth. It could be whatever type of chicken broth that you guys personally like. I like the low sodium, trying to watch my weight like I said. But let's go ahead and add this here. There we go. And then if you have any garlic that is stuck to the bottom of the pan, go ahead and use a wooden spoon or a plastic spoon, spatula. That's the word I'm looking for. Spatula. Go ahead and use that just to unstick it from the bottom of the pan. We're gonna go ahead and let this boil, and then once it's boiling, we'll reduce the heat some and just let it simmer. I believe it's called reducing. Don't quote me on that. In the comment section down below if you want to give me the real term. That way I can use that properly going forward. Be greatly appreciated. Alright everybody, now that this has came to a boil, we already reduced the heat here. It's been reduced by half. A little bit more than half, unfortunately. I was too busy finishing up chopping. I guess I missed cutting up the parsley. So between checking up on the recipe, make sure everything is still going good, and cutting up that parsley, it looks like I unfortunately let it reduce a little bit more than we were supposed to, which is fine. Stuff happens, right? So now what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and try one of these. I've never had capers before. I have no idea what this is gonna taste like. So Buddha, let's give this a shot. Kind of like a tougher, not tougher, definitely has that pickle juice kind of taste. At least I think it does. But that's not bad. I would definitely, it's not sweet. I want to say more earthy, maybe a little bit tangy, if you will. I could just be tripping, but that's how I interpret this. Let me know what you guys think about it. But we're going to go ahead and add some of our capers with caper juice. I'm going to go ahead and throw in that chopped parsley here. There we go. And the last two ingredients this recipe and specifically called for is going to be some lemon juice. Let's go ahead and squirted that all over the place. Oh yeah. You can either use a full lemon, half a lemon, whatever your guys' preferences are. I'm just going to do the full lemon because that's what the recipe calls for. I don't think you could ever have too much lemon juice. I don't think that's really a thing, especially when we're having fish, because it just enhances that flavor. Alright, so now that we got that squared away here, let's go ahead and stir this up some. Alright, now that we got all that, now that we got the lemons, the parsley, the caper, and caper juice in there, we're supposed to go ahead and turn the heat back up so it kind of it'll boil again. And the recipe did call for unbleached flour. Again, I went to both Walmart and Wenco, and all I could seem to find is this defined bleached flour. It doesn't, so in the recipe it doesn't say how much of this to use, how much of the flour to use. So I'm just going to use a pinch or two of it, and see how that goes. And if in the future I realize that we need to add more, then I'll go back in and I'll in the description I'll just say this is how much flour I think it really needs to use. That way everyone can be on the same page. But let's go ahead and use those. Let's see the 2 little pinches of flour here. You know what? Just because I'm a greedy little guy. Little. I'm 5'5". I don't know if that's little for some of you, but in my family, it's kind of short. So we'll go ahead and add 1 more thing of flour. Just so that looks good to me. Awesome. Now we're just going to let this boil, and it's supposed to thicken up some. Let's see how this turns out. Alright guys, just a couple more things to go here. What we're going to end up doing is we are going to make the side dish. We're going to add in our broccoli florets over here that we have beautifully cut. We're going to throw it in this bowl right here, and then we're going to add in our substitute shallots. I know if you can find shallots, I do recommend getting those and, you know, following the recipe as it says. But again, couldn't find shallots, so we substituted with yellow onions. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mix it in this bowl. We're going to use 1 more tablespoon of oil, maybe 2, and then we're going to add salt, pepper, and then hand mix it. And then after that, we're going to get 1 more baking sheet. We're going to line it 1 more time, evenly spread our mixture on that. And then it says to go ahead and preheat the oven to about 450 degrees, and we're going to let this cook for 10 to 12 minutes. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get that done real quick. All right. Boom, got all that broccoli. And then I'm going to add in those onions. I love onions, guys. You can ask my mom, and she will tell you guys how much I love onions in almost everything. For example, guys, last night I didn't have any ideas necessarily what I was going to cook for dinner. It's kind of feeling a little bit lazy. I know it's not necessarily healthy in its entirety, but what I did last night was, I'll tell you all that while I'm cooking this. What I did last night, guys, was I had some Bumblebee Sriracha tuna packets. So I went ahead and used those the other day. Mixed that in with some macaroni and cheese. And kind of made my own little version of tuna casserole. But like I said, I added onions to that. Everyone else in my house thought that was gross. I, on the other hand, think that's delicious. Judge me all you want, but I'm an onion fanatic, okay? Sue me. And I know I said 1 tablespoon. We're just going to add 2 for good measure. You never have too much fat, especially healthy fats. Some of you may disagree with that, and that's okay. But I like my olive oil. I like my fats. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and mix that up a little bit. Awesome. That's pepper. Ooh. And some salt. I'm not really a huge salt fan. Although, fries, maybe that's what I'll do next week. Maybe I'll do something with sweet potato fries. Because who doesn't love sweet potato fries? Alright, guys. Now that we got the mixture, I just need to go ahead and get our sheet prepared. We'll take you, and then basically I don't need to show you guys how to put some Reynolds wraps on a baking sheet and put it in the oven. Which is cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, guys, and then I'll finish up this video with showing you then the the end result. Alright guys, like I said, we're gonna put this together. So we're gonna start out with some broccoli and shallots over here. We're gonna put them in our containers. Alright, there's 2 scoops for that. If you want to call that 2 scoops, you can. I don't know. Doesn't look like I made necessarily enough broccoli, but hey, learning curves. I really thought two heads or 2 bunches, whatever the right terminology is, was gonna be enough for that. Well, maybe it is gonna be. It's cool. I can have extra fiber on one of my days. It's cool. Lord knows I could use it. Alright guys, so we got our base here. First part of our lunch, definitely want to start with a broccoli base. And then, I guess, the next part is we're going to put some of this fish on top, just like so. Right there on top. Yes sir. Okay. Alright, so we got that going for us, and then I guess the last thing we're going to do here is we are going to put some of our couscous on it. Mine didn't, I kind of like how it turned out. I did do a pre-sample of it for off camera, guys, and it tastes phenomenal. You know what? Alright, so let's go ahead. Since I got a lot of that, this is kind of how I'm going to do it here. That's more or less how it should be. On the recipe, it did say that if it became a little too pasty, I don't think that's too pasty. I like it like that. But it is supposed to have a little bit more of a sauce or some leftover broth. It looks like I reduced mine a little too much, but that's okay. And the way, if you did end up like me where there's not really a whole lot of juice or anything, let me show you guys. There's not really a whole lot of juice or anything. It does say that you can re-add a little bit of sodium, a little bit more of that broth to it. Add some water, just a quarter cup at a time, just to your liking. Again, this is totally fine for me. And there you go, guys. That is how you make the lemon tilapia with a white flour couscous mixed in there with a little bit of broccoli and shallots. That's gonna be my lunch for the next couple of days, guys. If you like the recipe, hit the like button wherever that's gonna be. And then if you have any comments, questions, if you want the full recipe, let me know. Be more than happy to provide that for you guys. Again, thank you guys for watching Wolf Den's Kitchen. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Ow!